Yes, indeed. It is time for Hard Facts here on your number one talk station, 95.1 Nigeria Info. And just as Justin Bieber said, can we keep each other company? Can we do that from now up until 7 p.m. when I will be getting on out of the studio? Well, up until then, welcome. Let me welcome you especially, and I hope that you are indeed allowing me the honor to be able to take you through from now up until that time. My name is Somi. That's S-O-M-I, short for Apeno Somi. And it's good to be here, as always. It's good to be here. I hope that the weather is being kind to you. I've been dealing with my own sort of reaction to the weather for a couple of weeks now, but I'm getting better. If at all you're having any adverse effects from the weather, I hope that you're getting better. I hope that you're healing nicely. And I hope that you can hear us and hear me loud and clear wherever it is that you're listening in from every part of the FCT, the other states where you might be listening in from. Welcome you especially. And for those of you who are listening around the world as well, I'm getting some feedback here, I believe. Not quite sure. Let me see who this is. Okay, you didn't put your name. I can see it's looks like a US number or Canadian. I'm not sure. You're saying something about the audio. You're saying it's not available for the Abuja station, but that those of Lagos and Port Harcourt are clear. Please verify whether this is the feedback that you're getting. Let's know where you're listening in from. Let's know if it's something with our app that we need to work on, if it's something with the online or probably on the streaming sites, whichever it is. Please let me know so that we can sort that out for you, and you can follow through on all of the interesting conversations that we're going to be having from now up until 7 p.m. Hello, Tokwe. I see you very, very enthusiastically calling my name there. It says, hello, Somi. Good to see you, Tokwe. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for staying with 95.1 Nigeria Info. Yeah, and so I was talking about the weather, and I'm hoping that it's treating you well. I know that it has some good sides to it. I'm not quite sure what the science is, but hopefully light is improved around your area. I know that those of you on Band A must be having quite the time right now. I just hope that you're even getting the light that you're paying for. If not, let's connect as well. Who was it that I was talking to the other day? I believe it was Mrs. Omeza, who was having some issue with her loading, I think, of her units. Right. I did see an update on AEDC today saying something about how you need to update your meters by 31st of July, which is barely 2 weeks away. So just get on their site and ensure that you are getting all the information and you're, properly updated so that it doesn't catch you by surprise. Not that there's anything that catches us by surprise these days a lot in Nigeria. Are there anything, is there anything that takes you by surprise anymore in Nigeria? It sort of feels like we've seen it all a lot of the time, whether it's in our political space, whether it is in the social space. I don't know if there's anything that shocks us anymore. And that in itself can be a bit of a problem. It could mean a number of things. It could mean, one, largely that we have been so desensitized to the state of things in the country. And so even though there's that momentary shock, you kind of get over it very quickly. It's a testament to our strength, and at the same time, the level of things that we have gone through as a people and as a country. And it has its advantages and disadvantages. But when you look at the insecurity in the country, you hear the numbers, the sheer numbers of people who have either lost their lives or been kidnapped and all of that. You get that moment of, really, in this country? And then in like the next hour or so, it kind of feels like we're over it. It is not, I don't think that it's a good thing, really. But at the same time, there's that thing to be said for just being able to have some sort of a mental state that helps you get through what we are going through here in the country. Conversations around the high cost of living, the food crisis, and all of that. And if we didn't have that kind of resilient mind, we didn't have that strong mind, if we're going to call it that, who knows? It could have been a lot worse. So we thank God for the little things, I believe. We thank God for the little things, and we see what we can do with all of that. Check in with me. Let me be sure that you're doing good before we get into the roundtable conversations. I'm making making conversation and just making sure everyone is good before we get to the roundtable conversations, which are going to be coming up in less than 5 minutes. And let's see. Kelly says, even surprise is surprisingly surprised in Nigeria. I can imagine. I really, really, really can imagine. Okay, let me see if I can take a few calls before we get into the conversation proper, seeing as I have some minutes before we go on the break.
Lady with the long surname.
You don't, I promise you don't know my surname. I promise you don't know my surname. Where do you get that from?
No, Ali, something, but it's too long. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Something like that, but I don't know.
Just leave it there. Collect the Somi and rest.
Call it. Can you call it? Let everybody hear it today. I forget the surname, but I know it's ALE. ALE. But the remaining one is what I can know.
So I'm even thinking, when did I ever mention it? Okay, I'll say it once. If you get it, you get it. If you don't get it, you don't get it.
You forget that they used to write your name on Wasobia TV, you and FMD.
Ah, that's where you got it from. No wonder. No wonder. I know I hadn't brought it here to radio. Okay, are you ready?
I'm following you for that political matter now.
I appreciate you for that. It used to be cocoa of the matter. Thank you. Fine, thank you. Should I call it or can we move on from there?
Please, Adeomi calling. I'm calling from Life Camp.
Welcome, Adeomi Daniels.
The traffic in Life Camp is too much because of a bad road.
Okay.
This former minister was the cause of this problem. He was an architect by blocking the other road that people used to fly. Look at we that we are going through this estate, close to Kadofish Market. We have to come from this roundabout. You must come to Life Camp before you can access your estate. You can see. And the road on the other side is just wasting. Nothing is going on there. PIO just block the road. They demarcated it and caused a lot of traffic. Now the one that they left at this Kadofish Market side, all the roads are spoiled. There are a lot of potholes. The traffic is so much. PIO is there now doing nothing, looking for plate number of private cars. I think the minister needs to do something. To help us open the other side.
You're talking about the road that they turned to a one-way. Is that the one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Life Camp.
I understand.
The other one that people used to fly to go to the estate. This former minister blocked it.
Okay.
And it's not working. I don't know why this APC government says that. You see, all what they are doing is always be negative. The former minister is no more there now. We can please, if you are listening to us, Apple, open it. It's going and come. You understand? This is a Life Camp police station. They turn it to one way. And it's got a lot of traffic. This Kadofish Market now, come and see traffic. All the fake on this road is not up to 500. But the traffic was so much because the road is so narrow and it's not good.
Yeah, I can imagine. And the market being there doesn't help. Thank you.
Imagine, God forbid any emergency here.
God forbid that.
Keke is in Kadofish Market blocking road, and the road is so narrow, and you block the other one that's even wide.
Okay, Adeomi.
Former minister, I don't know, all these people are just do everything and go scot-free.
Okay.
They do a lot of wrong things and go scot-free. Nobody called them for questions. We have been flying this road before he was appointed as a minister under Muhammad Buhari. He said yes, he just polarized everything. Nothing to do. Instead of him to make the big roundabout to become big, he didn't do anything. He go and block road because his wife has issue with Keke Napep.
Okay. Thank you, Adeomi Daniels. I believe you've gone on long enough and I need to go on that break. But your point is duly noted. I have encountered that road on a number of occasions and I know exactly what you're talking about. It's very unpredictable there. Morning, afternoon, night, it can be quite horrible. And, you know, the other access road was turned into some sort of a one-way. And if I know there's another road again through a church that you can take and it's very, very messy, especially during the raining season. So please, the attention of the relevant authorities, the FCT minister, you should take a look at some of those roads that are not core in town. Yes, we see all the good work that is being done in the heart of the federal capital city, but emphasis needs to go out to all those other suburban areas and the other cities or the other areas within the territories. So the local, the other, what they call them now, local councils, area councils, forgive me. Thank you so much for that report. All right, then. Adeomi Daniels took up pretty much all of the time. And I need to go on that break now. When I come back, the roundtable will kick off. Stay with me.
More talk, news, and sports after this.
This is Nigeria Info.
The Roundtable officially kicks off now. Let's get into some of the biggest stories making the headlines. And we're starting with Kanu, where apparently the drama continues. And before we get into the story, I just want to say, if you don't take away anything from what's going on in Kanu, it is the effectiveness, if you would call it that, of the assembly when it comes to passing bills. You know, within a day, you have a bill brought for reading, and before you know what's happening, it's gone through first, second, and third reading. And the latest bill to come out now is the Kano State Emirates Council Established Bill the Kano State Emirates Council Establishment Bill 2024, which scaled the third reading today. It was sponsored by the Deputy Speaker of the Assembly and the member representing Rimin Gado Tofa State Constituency, Muhammad Bello Bututu. I believe I didn't murder that, which provides for the establishment of Kanu as a first-class emirate, and the other emirates will be classed as second class. And we're talking about Rano, Gaya, and Karaye. I believe all this in a bid to quell the tensions that have arisen ever since we had them repeal the previous bill that removed Adebayo from the throne, and also had the other emirates sort of like dissolved, so to speak, right? So now they have passed the bill to create second-class emirates, and according to this bill, Kano maintains the first-class status, while Rano, Gaya, and Karaye are second-class emirates. Rano Emirate consists of Rano, Bunkure, and Kibia local government areas. Gaya Emirate has Gaya, Albasu, and Ajingi local government areas, while Karaye Emirates will consist of Karaye and Rogo local government areas. This is according to the news in the Daily Trust newspaper. Apparently, emirs of the three second-class emirates will be answerable to the emir of Kano and shall have powers to advise him on any matter relating to maintenance of public order, boundary dispute, or dispute between two or more people within their areas of jurisdiction. We're expecting a lot of reactions to come out from this bill that has been passed now, because there are still some unanswered questions. What then happens to Adebayo and Muhammadu Sanusi? A lot has been going on ever since Muhammadu Sanusi II, forgive me. A lot has been going on ever since that first bill was repealed in Kano State, and this is where we are. Court judgments after court judgments, and now the House has come to pass this bill, and we'll see what comes out of it. The hopes, I believe, is that we are finally going to see the settlement of this matter. But again, like I said, lots of unanswered questions that will need to be answered, and we're going to be following closely with the story. Hopefully before the end of the show today, I can bring you some more updates as to what has come out of that. But as of today, we have second-class emirates, a bill that has been passed to create second-class emirates that will make up for Ranu, Gaya, and Karaye. As for the Kano Emirate, which is the first class emirate, a lot of settling still needs to be going on in there. Okay, this is the first headline coming out of our newspapers this afternoon, and I will be getting into some more. But my phone line is ringing. Let's see who's on the line. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you? How are you?
Very well, thank you. What's your name, sir?
My name is Abakar Pali from Babalata.
Go ahead, Abubakar.
Recent development in concerning the emirate issue is to step in the right direction. It uphold the traditional value of coming about the emirate. There should not be competition among the emirates. The currency emirate to occupy its unique relevance. If there something like that, and the other emirates will be subjected to the area of coming. So it's the right direction, and if it is bring congratulations to area Somi, Kadidi Ligado Ustewa, Tawe Sentinadu, Mala, Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you. You're congratulating MS Sanusi. And I said there were still some answer questions because I think the biggest tussle that we have seen since the repealing of the initial law that broke it down into 4 emirates has been between, I don't even know if we're calling both of them emirs at this point. Let's just go with that line. I believe until there is a clear settlement on the matter, Emir Mohammed Sanusi II, as well as Emir Ado Bayero, I believe. Okay, it's still a bit tricky, but let's see if I can take some more reactions to it. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Somi.
Welcome.
Please, I just want to use this opportunity to tell you that no road in Gwagwalada, and we say we are having SPT minister. There's nowhere to pass in Gwagwalada. To mention just but a few. Abattoir Road, the front of Gwagwalada Market, Jeremiah Utemi.
Okay.
There's no road. I don't know whether we have a minister in this Abuja.
Okay. All right, we'll leave it at that. We are on the roundtable right now. Perhaps when we get to eyewitness reports, we can get more of those reports. I don't know, perhaps I shouldn't have opened up for those conversations at the initial stage. But bring that back, okay? When we get to eyewitness reports, it'll be so important to hear from you. I've had multiple calls about the state of roads in Gwagwalada, and so it's valid that you're bringing it up. Just the timing is a bit off, okay? But right now we're taking reactions to our roundtable stories. Let's see what's happening on Facebook. I have Jeremiah Awa watching from Boko Benue State. Well, hello, Jeremiah. Thank you for joining us. Also, Francis Namani, watching from Amagunze in Enugu State. He says, good afternoon, Somi. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Stephen Trust, thank you for the compliment. King Ife, good afternoon, Somi. How are you doing, King Ife, watching live from Lekki, Lagos? Well, we appreciate you from all over Nigeria where you're watching in from. Thank you so much. All right, going back to our roundtable stories. Reactions have also trailed this conversation around local government autonomy, and we've had different people weighing on it, multiple stakeholders from some governors themselves. You had the likes of Ayo Fayose, former governor of Ekiti State, saying that I think let me just make reference to the quote. He says something about how the states are the state governors are the mothers, and the local government chairman are the children. And he was saying, as much as it's a great development, he says, how do you tell the child not to answer to the mother? I believe we needed more elaboration on that statement from former governor of Ekiti State, Ayo Fayose. But like I said, multiple reactions we've seen. We also have Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde saying that the decision of the Supreme Court on the local government autonomy has created confusion in the land. And now it's no surprise that we're having lots of governors told the path of how it's not such a great decision, or how it may be a bit tricky to put into work, to put into practice rather. Again, still lots of things that need to be cleared up in that area as to how the elections are going to be held, how the monies are going to be disbursed, how to monitor those funds. And I remember when this news first broke, I did say that a lot of this work will rest on the people to ensure that they're getting the right people in office in there, because, like I said, nothing good comes easy, right? So even though the Supreme Court has made this decision, we must expect that a number of forces will be fighting it in whatever way they can, or, trying to maintain some kind of hold on it to ensure that it doesn't deliver on what the people expect that it will deliver. And so you have the Oyo State Governor with his take on it today. He made this statement about how this judgment by the Supreme Court has created confusion in the land while at an emergency consultative stakeholders meeting, which was held yesterday. And, at this meeting, apparently, he set up technical and legal committees to review the Supreme Court judgment. Daily Trust reports that the court had ordered that the monthly allocation from the Federation account be paid directly into the local government's coffers without interference from state governors. And this decision, which the governor had earlier labelled as the federal government's distractive tactics. You can imagine the comments that have been flying around on this. Present at this consultative stakeholders meeting were members of the Oyo State chapter, ALGON, that's the Association of Local Government Administration. We also had the Attorney General of the state and Commissioner of Justice, Barrister Abiodun Aikomo, Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Matters, Otumbo Ademola Ojo, and the Chairman, House of Assembly Committee on Local Government and Chieftaincy Matters. And you had others in attendance, including representatives of NLC, the TUC, the NULGE, and the NUP. He says a lacuna, this is Governor Makinde speaking now, and I quote, he says, I believe a lacuna has been created between the decision and the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We all swore to uphold the Constitution, but the law is the law. If the law is in conflict, it behoves on us to look for our own homegrown solution that can ensure that we have transparency and operate with our people. This is because when two elephants are fighting, the grass will suffer. He continued, the Supreme Court just basically said to us that governors don't have the right to dissolve the councils, but why did I dissolve them then? He says it was because elections were held in the LCDAs, and the same Supreme Court basically said has basically now said that only 774 local governments, and the Supreme Court has basically now said that only 774 local government areas in Nigeria. So there's confusion in the land. But when you have the confusion, what it means is that the structure is shaky, and we have to remove much of those confusion as much as possible. And speaking on steps he's taking to remove this confusion, he said they'll be outlining the major challenges that they have at the local government areas so that they can develop their own solution. On the issue of local government elections in Oyo State, he says, we don't have caretaker committees at local level. We planned the elections in a way that not a single day was given out. We have a responsible government in Oyo State. We don't need the federal government to tell us what to do. We know what is good, and we know what is good for our people. This is the governor of Oyo State speaking in response to the Supreme Court judgment. Again, like I said, is going to be quite the uphill task if what we're hearing from the governors who have reacted is anything to go by. I'm not quite sure if any governor has spoken favorably to this. Either they're not speaking, or when they speak, there is a little bit of a good side to what they're saying and sort of like a worrisome side to what they're saying. Like we have Governor Makinde saying, we don't need the government to tell us what to do. What are the implications of that statement? Does it mean that they're going to find ways to go around the Supreme Court judgment? Again, another conversation that was had on the day this news first broke is that it's one thing for the judgment to be given, it's another thing to ensure that they follow it through and ensure that when anybody is violating this judgment or is working outside of this judgment, then they are taken to task. The question is, who is going to take the governors to task? Assuming what Governor Makinde is saying is anything to go by. Like we said, other responses as well have come about since this news first broke. You have governors working assiduously to ensure that they clear up the confusion. And so it remains to be seen, really, what the outcome of this is going to be. You had the likes of by Onanuga, commending this effort and saying everybody should come out and commend what the government has done. And it's a great thing, really. Lots of commendations on it, but it goes beyond just the announcement of the Supreme Court. It's ensuring that all the necessary structures are in place so that by the time we are having, these structures supposed to take effect, really, then there are no challenges. I believe I was seeing somewhere else that in a lot of the states in the country, monies, these federal allocations, is likely not even going to get to them because they do not have these local government fully set up, as duly elected as the law requires. And so what is happening to ensure that these things are done, that these local government structures are set up, so that when it's time to receive allocation, we're already approaching the end of July. We don't know what's going to happen with the August allocation. Or does the Supreme Court judgment also provide that starting from August, they get these allocations? So what then happens when you have states where they don't have these structures? And if they don't have these structures, who is responsible for putting these structures in place? It does seem a bit messy. And the one thing that our politicians have been known to do is they're very, very smart about, how these things are interpreted and how they carry them out. And so this is where we're calling and saying, look, what needs to be done should be done if it is for the people to put pressure and ensure that the necessary things are being done to set up their local government structures so that they are within the ambit of the law and are able to receive these federal allocations. But beyond just receiving the money, what are the plans? I believe that at this point in time, town hall meetings should probably be going on across the different local government areas across the country and saying, look, this is an opportunity that has been presented to us. What do we do with it? And this is where I like to say a lot of this rests on us, the people. You can't expect that the politicians who are not really buying into this idea will be the ones to set it up for us. So let's wisen up now and start doing what needs to be done. All right, the phone lines are still open. So far, we have addressed the situation in Kano, and I just shared some reports regarding reactions to I shared a report regarding reactions to the ruling by the Supreme Court on local government autonomy, and a certain governor who was talking about how this ruling has created confusion. Assuming there is some confusion, I know some things are not really clear, but assuming there is some confusion, it behoves on us, the people, to try and clear it up, right? Yes? No? Let's hear your thoughts on the matter. 07009510000 or 08095974869. On WhatsApp is 08099930137. Let's get talking. Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Welcome.
Good afternoon, Somi. Abdul calling from Maitama.
Welcome, Abdul.
Thank you. This is where the local government autonomy is come up. I think in a thing like this, some state governors have started arguing. At last, they will end up in court, and you hear different kind of interpretation from their lawyers, and waste of time is going to take place a lot. They create this thing purposely since 1999, but it's easier something to do if they wanted to work for the people in the local government. Let them go back to the state assembly with the collaboration of the state governor. Have a meeting with the local government chairman and their councillors. Who is they?
Who is the they that are going? Who is the they?
The governors of the state, the 36 states of Nigeria. So that each and every state has its own representative in the red chamber and the green chamber. Let them start preparing how to indict a law and put it in the law that after this month, it was already the local government.
That's the thing, Abdul. You are putting this responsibility back in the hands of us who are, at least to the large extent we've seen, not necessarily on board.
The people in the local government, they vote them. They put them in they must consider them at the same time.
So shouldn't it be the people who need this local government autonomy to hold a sway? Shouldn't it be the people who are trying to have these conversations, not the same state governors who seem to be on the other side of the divide?
I get your point. I get where you're heading. But they have their own representative in the state, right? In the state assembly. So why is it that they don't want to indict the law in the state assembly so that each and every allocation that comes in should go to the local government direct? with the collaboration of their own representative here in the center, House of Rep and the Senate, so that they will put it in law. Each and every allocation comes, it should go direct to the local government. That is how it's supposed to be. Until when the president takes them to the court, well, this thing is start coming up because of the benefit they are benefiting is when the election comes up, they will start going there and give them wrapper and the indomie and the bag of rice. They finish with the local government. It doesn't make sense. They have right to their allocation. That's what I'm saying. So they have to have a collaboration, sit down with the State Assembly and the Senate and the rest to make sure that they implement it to be in the law.
Thank you, Abdul.
That comes, should go direct to the local government so that they will have a enable environment to be working to their people in the locality. That is where the dividend of democracy starts. Let them start feeling the dividend of democracy.
Thank you, Abdul.
Without that, I think we are going to be wasting our time. Thank you very much. Keep doing what you are doing and doing it very well. Please.
All right, then. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Good afternoon.
Hello?
I can hear you. Good afternoon. Okay. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, welcome.
Yeah, my name is Christopher. I'm calling from Wusetu.
Go ahead, Christopher.
Yeah. You're saying the issue of this local government is a welcome development. But the government need to give them free hand. That is the central government. In the sense that I don't want a situation where the ruling party in the central will make sure say all the areas of local government to be one by them. That's one. And the other aspect of it is that local government is big for two by state in under artisanal democracy.
Sorry about that. I think the call dropped. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Can you hear me loud and clear?
Loud and clear.
So my name is calling from Lube.
Welcome.
This matter is very simple. The next issue was local government autonomy. Federal government has succeeded now in giving the local government their autonomy. The next action to be taken is federal government to also take measures so that INEC should be the one to conduct local government elections. And it should make it possible that all those who want to contest and want to buy the tickets, all the parties should not put a ticketing fee more than 50,000 or 100, because that will eliminate godfatherism. This is simple matter. We're just flopping it left to right. It's just federal government decision. Just like the most difficult was to get that autonomy. They have gotten it. They can also go ahead. Since federal government is the financier of all the local government, state government will have no choice. Let me put to no shoe to dictate anything. Federal government will not say, okay, INEC, we are funding you more to conduct local government election. And they should make it constitutionally for all parties not to charge that those who want to contest a ticket fee or what for nomination to be more than 50,000 or 100,000 naira.
Okay.
That will also eliminate godfatherism. Take this action, finish all these lelecumos. Okay, finish.
Okay. All right, then. Thank you so much, Uncle Tom. Hello. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Somi.
Welcome. Hello, I can hear you. I can hear you. Good afternoon. Go ahead.
My name is Salasi. I can't hear you, but I believe you can hear me loud and clear.
Loud and clear, Salasi.
I want to talk about this local government autonomy. See, after the judgment, look at the election that took place in Delta and Adamawa. Did any opposition have seat there? That's not the fact that El-Rufai wasn't my fan. But I want to commend El-Rufai for one thing. There is something he did for local government. There are some equipment he bought during that local government election. Do you know that opposition won about 5 local governments? But now, even in that cabinet, they have abolished that. They say they are going back to the old, to the former way of doing elections. So So if election will be taking place, that's why the part that yes, we don't have 100% trust on the INEC, but it should be at the same time when they are doing the general election, when they are doing the governor, the state, assembly, and the local government. Then you see the impact of the you see how opposition will have their say. But this one, it's just like they are governors people. Governor will be the one, the state government that will provide that will make the election, to provide fund for the state INEC office and provide everything, and they will definitely their own may come to power.
Okay.
Look at the data. PDP sweep all the balls. Look at Adamawa, the same thing. It is happening in the APC state. The same thing will happen. So until they work on the electoral law that will constitute that the INEC, that's what the fact that we don't have 100% trust in them. But if they can be able to do that, or they should do it at the same time they are doing the presidential, the governor, the senator, and everything. Yes, let's get the whole ballot paper at the same time with Nigerian cast their vote.
All right.
Without that, I'm telling you, we'll just be going, we'll just be dining about this local government autonomy and so on and so forth. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's go to the WhatsApp lines now. Hello. Hello, good afternoon.
I'm Somi.
Welcome.
Good afternoon.
Good to have you here. Go ahead.
Yeah, well done, work, my sister. This is Engineer Ola.
Thank you, Engineer Ola. Welcome.
Yeah, Salasi, I greet you, and I greet all the old Nigerian info callers, all these concerned Nigerians. Sister Somi, we are talking about local government autonomy and all of that, blah, blah, blah. Oh, that the government at the center has done something. Sister Somi, as they have done the local government autonomy now, is that going to crash the price of fuel in the market? Is that going to make the subsidy to come back? Or is that going to crash the price of rice that was around 8,000 naira, 10,000 naira in 2014, 2015? Is that going to crash it?
It does have its effects.
Price of beans?
It does have its effects. Let's not mix up the two.
No,
it does have its effects. Do you agree that it brings the government closer to the people or not?
Sister Somi, the government is closer to us. The president is not in outside countries, in Nigeria. He understands what is happening. See, we should stop all this bringing the government closer. Is the president in abroad? Is he not in Nigeria? Is he not in Abuja? Is he not in Aso Villa? Is he not hearing what is going on the news?
Can you walk into Aso Villa right now?
My sister, is he not listening to the news? I don't need to go into Aso Villa. Is he not listening to the news? Are you a local station? The station I'm talking to now, I'm airing my view now. Is it a local station?
The point here, Engineer, let's not mix it up. I want you to quickly make your point, but let's not mix it up, okay? It's a win in a certain area. Let's not mix it up with other issues.
I'm not mixing anything up, Sister Somi. What I'm trying to let you understand is this. It's very simple. You remove subsidy. Ever since you remove subsidy, people's lives have turned upside down. Bring back the subsidy and let's move on from there. Then you now start talking about the local government autonomy. Is the local government autonomy going to allow Dangote refinery to be working? Is the local government autonomy going to allow our own local refinery that they have been turning around maintenance? Is it going to allow it to start functioning? We are not talking. We know that yes, bringing the government closer to us. The president is not abroad. He's in Nigeria. The governor is not in abroad. He's in. Some of them are even in Abuja here. They are not even in their state. And then you are talking about local government. Once they give those people those things that they are asking for now, you will see the opposite of it. But what we are saying first is that we should stop giving credit for what somebody doesn't deserve credit for. Bring the subsidy back. Let the people enjoy themselves. Then we'll start talking about local government autonomy and other things. People are suffering now. You're talking about local government autonomy. So
for you, this judgment is putting the cart before the horse. Everything else should stand still until subsidy is brought back. Let's give credit for what credit is due. Now, the problem with this conversation we're having around the autonomy is the judgment was just one step in that direction, and we're saying that there's a lot that needs to be done for us to begin to enjoy what this ruling means for us as a people and for our democracy, and we must not lose sight of that. And that's part of the reason why this headline came up about what the governor is saying, because there are implications on both sides. There are implications for us as a people, and there are implications for them, the governors who were previously in charge of all of these things. And we're trying to ensure that we enjoy what is due to us as a people should this take effect as it should take effect. I need to go and pay some bills. When I come back, the roundtable will continue. Stay with us.
Welcome back to your number one talk news and sports station. This is Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.